and what he's able to do in the air. So here's a man who's got a tremendous air game and a ground game. And he could do, as your favorite LeBron washed king, he could go, not bad for a running back, right? He could,
right, exactly.
Right, that's the hashtag. And his mama had to step in and make sure that the NFL or that teams would understand this is a quarterback. Why hamstring him? Because of his unique set of skills. So when I look at Lamar Jackson, I think an incredible guy. After Mahomes last year, which we, the no-look pass, and then him with this kind of ground game, and different than Vic too, because they were designed plays to run. I mean, that's even more extraordinary. So you're bringing the defensive attention on you, and he's still successful. But I think about it more broadly about the black quarterback. Here we are speaking about Colin Kaepernick and his just grievance with the NFL. But when you look at the fact that these black quarterbacks, when you think
Lamar,
about
Lamar, Mahomes, Russell Wilson,
right? And who are the three quarterbacks that Tom Brady lost to this year? Right? Right. Deshaun, who is Mahomes and
Lamar.
Lamar. So, beating the GOAT like that is no mean feat. So I think that when I was coming up, if you saw Joe Gilliam, if you saw a quarterback, coming along, brother James Harris, James Harris, and then we saw Warren Moon have to go 8 years in the CFL, over here, Doug Williams, who was in D.C. So now this kind of renaissance of black quarterbacks allowing people's talent to dictate who we see. And we know there were vicious racial, implications there. Well, the quarterback is not smart enough. Black people are not smart enough to run an offense. And we see now these guys are not only running it well, they are redefining the position. And so there's a level of pride, but acknowledgement of the barriers that have been overcome.
What I love the most is there was a tired old stereotype I came up with covering the game of pro football. Yeah, the black quarterback, he can run, but he can't throw.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this young man. He's the best running back in football, but more important, he's as deadly accurate a thrower with as high a football IQ as anybody throwing the football in the game today, which is why he is running away with the MVP.
Oh, yeah. Was he 109? What's his quarter QB rating right now? I mean,
it's off the chart.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
So the point is he's shattering that mold or that stereotype in ways I've never seen, because what I'm in awe of the most is they are leading the league in red zone touchdowns, because he gets in the red zone and it's hard to get it in the end zone from the red zone. And he's saying, I think I'll go there because he's wide open. He keeps finding the most wide open receiver on every play. And makes great decisions on time that I've not seen. He's up in that Brady Breeze echelon right now on decision making.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people think, oh, it's just enormous physical skill. It's the dexterity, it's the verbal, it's the ability to play because of his limbs. No, it's that brain that allows him to, that football IQ, to look, to see the field, like Magic Johnson, like LeBron, looking at this, scoping it out, and then making a choice based upon what the options are, and having multiple options if this is closed down, and doing it at lightning quick speed. It's a remarkable thing.
And guess what, Skip? He's throwing touchdown passes. I guess they can't see the ball in the air because it's not to his hand. I had to see that. Skip had to get that with. But you know,
Baker Mayfield wouldn't have that problem, would he?
Skip, what I like, Doc, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what these guys are doing is that they're showing that if you have talent, give me an opportunity. Don't put me into an antiquated system where this is the way the guy runs the system. This is the way you do it. Put a system around me.
That's what they did in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Your former team. They said, we have a genius. I give Harbaugh the credit. We got a guy here, right? We have Einstein. Einstein is unorthodox. He's not going to study math the way you did, right? So Einstein said, the reason I was able to be better than people, he says, because I was retarded, we don't use that word anymore, in my growth. And because I was older when I came to math, I got deeper. So understanding who Einstein is, build the theory around Einstein's genius. They're doing this around Lamar. This is a guy who gives us. Why hem yourself in by comparing him to others who had more limited skills than he does? Why not open up the possibility by saying he can run, he can throw, he can make decisions at the end zone, the red zone? How difficult it is, you know this, to score a touchdown in the NFL against equally talented big men who are trying to hurt you. That's an extraordinary thing.
Because, Skip, Andy Reid does not call plays for Patrick Mahomes like he called for Alex Smith.
No. Right.
And Deshaun is not getting plays called for him like they call for Tom Brady. You use the guy's skill set. What's the best way I can get to maximize his ability in what I'm doing now? I'm not worried about how Tom did it. I'm not worried about how Alex Smith did it.
Right.
How can I maximize his ability right now to get the most out of it? And these guys are getting the most. What Lamar Jackson is doing, he's 5th in the NFL in rushing.
Right.
He's leading the NFL in passing touchdowns, and he's #1 in QBR and passer rating. I don't know if we'll ever see a combination like that again.
Your ex-wife is great. Your present wife is better.
Yeah. That's why she's the ex.
Michael, on that note, we thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you
Always
with us
great
on
to
the
be
show.
here. Thank you so much.
Doc,
all right.
appreciate the love, bro.
Thank you.
Well, guys, the Giants made a strong statement this morning, gave Janoris Jenkins the boot. We'll discuss why next. It's been about a month since Colin Kaepernick's NFL workout in Atlanta, and Cap hasn't drawn any contract offers from the workout, which his camp moved from the Falcons' facility to a nearby high school just hours before its scheduled start time. According to reports, one of Kaepernick's biggest supporters, Jay-Z, was very involved in setting up the original workout. Jay-Z has been working closely with the NFL on its social justice initiatives since early August. And we're now joined by professor and author Michael Eric Dyson, who has recently written a book on Jay-Z. This is awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here, always.
It's always a pleasure to have you. You're one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Thank you, sir.
So is Jay-Z.
Yes.
And obviously, we all know now that he has a role with the NFL. How much of a role did he have in prompting that quote-unquote and finally ill-fated workout that Colin had in Atlanta?
He made all the difference. I mean, we know for 3 years Colin Kaepernick has been out of work unjustly, unfairly denied opportunity to exercise his craft and ply his wares on a gridiron for no other reason than he took a knee to protest racial oppression, black suffering, and the trauma that black people endured. That's clear. But it's also clear that the NFL had made no gestures toward reconciliation, not finding a way to do so. Jay-Z's presence made all the difference in the world, negotiating behind the scenes. This is what I tell people. You protest outside, you raise the concern, you tell people what's wrong. When they say, well, how do we change it? You got to go inside and help negotiate that. Jay-Z did just that. First, he was on a song saying, tell the NFL, we're in stadiums too. We don't need you to appear there. And he wore a Kaepernick jersey. Now, people said, is he selling out? No, he's understanding the transition between Starsky and Hutch, Batman and Robin, inside, outside, Steph Curry and LeBron on the inside. So he then goes inside to negotiate, to say, create space and opportunity for this unjustly aggrieved young man and give him that opportunity. So he was deeply and profoundly involved. Without Jay-Z, I suspect the opportunity would not exist.
And furthermore, how disappointed was Jay-Z from what you hear and how it did not turn out?
He's definitely disappointed. Disappointed because, not because Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a righteous grievance. He does. Not because he wasn't the victim of collusion. He was. Not because his cause was not just, but because strategy is